How does racial identity development relate to racial trauma? How does racial identity development relate to racial trauma? This is a question that touches on the core of personal experience and community dynamics. Racial trauma refers to the psychological and emotional harm that arises from experiences of racism, discrimination, and racial violence. It can deeply affect how individuals see themselves and their place in the world. Racial identity development is the process of understanding and accepting one's racial group membership. This journey is not always straightforward. It involves moving from external views imposed by society to a more personal and authentic understanding of one's racial identity. When someone experiences racial trauma, it can disrupt their sense of self and belonging. This disruption often leads to feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression, which can mirror symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. On the flip side, having a strong and positive racial identity can act as a shield against the negative effects of racial trauma. When individuals feel proud of their racial identity, they are less likely to internalize harmful stereotypes. This can help them cope better with trauma and reduce emotional avoidance. The stages of racial identity development are important to consider. As individuals grow, they may face challenges that test their racial identity. For example, negative experiences related to race can lead to feelings of rejection or isolation. However, those who develop a strong racial identity often find that it helps them manage the psychological impacts of racial trauma. They may experience fewer depressive symptoms and feel more resilient. In childhood and adolescence, the connection between racial trauma and emotional relationships becomes even more complex. Experiences of acceptance or rejection from caregivers and peers can shape how children view themselves and their worth. Addressing racial trauma in these contexts can support healthier racial identity development. To maintain a calm mindset while navigating these issues, it is essential to cultivate self-awareness and self-acceptance. Engaging in storytelling, writing, and reflective practices can help transform painful experiences into empowering narratives. Building strong social support within one's racial community can also promote resilience and calmness in the face of racial stressors. In summary, racial identity development and racial trauma are interlinked. A positive racial identity can buffer against the adverse effects of racial trauma, while experiences of racial trauma can shape ongoing racial identity development. Supporting this development through mindful and culturally affirming strategies can help manage racial trauma effectively.